Marvel made you cry over a man in a metal suit saying, I am Iron Man. DC made a movie so good that it won an Oscar and then immediately refused to do it again. That's not bad luck, that's a choice. And today I would like to show you the one decision that made 15 years ago, which will explain basically everything about why these two giants feel so different. Okay, before anyone get their knives out, let me be super clear about what we are actually comparing here. On the Marvel side, I'm talking about the Infinity Saga, the big connected MCU run from Iron Man all up to Endgame. And on DC side, I mean the old shared universe, the Justice League era and the brand new DCU that James Gunn just took over. What I'm not touching here is the standalone stuff, Christopher Nolan's trilogy, Matt Reeves' Batman, Joaquin Phoenix Joker, etc. Those are their own separate islands, and honestly we'll come back to why that matters later. Same goes for Marvel one off to the side projects. We are talking about the connected universes here, the team-ups machines. So here's the whole video in one sentence. Marvel writes people, DC write gods. That's it. That's the difference. Marvel looked at the characters and asked, what's broken about this person? And DC looked at theirs and asked, how do we make this person legendary? Two totally different questions, and the answer built two totally different empires. Now, quick promise before we start. I'm not here to tell you one is trash and one is amazing. I love both, genuinely. This is about how they are made. So let's go. This is the big one. The single most important reason why Marvel keeps winning. Every Marvel hero is built around one flaw. And then the entire movie just exists to poke that flaw until the character has grown. Tony Stark, massive ego. So his whole journey is to learn to put himself last, right up to the moment he gives his life with a snap of fingers. Thor, arrogant prince. So the universe takes his hammer away and goes on it. Cap, too good for his own good. So every story asks, what happens when being good means breaking the rules? And here's the thing nobody notices. The huge moments in Marvel, the ones that broke the internet, were never really about the action. When Thanos snaps his fingers and half of everyone turns to dust, that's not a special effects moment, that's emotional gut punch in disguise. The villain wins on purpose, just so we can watch our heroes sit in failure, broken for an entire next movie. The question was never will they win, it was who do these people become when they lose. That's why you cried, not because of the explosions, because you spent 10 years getting to know a guy and you watched him give up everything. That's the most powerful tool Marvel has, and you actually care. Okay, point 2. DC did the opposite, and honestly on purpose. DC heroes aren't really people, they are symbols. Superman isn't a guy named Clark, he's an idea of a hope with a cape. Batman isn't a man, he's fear in a suit. And Wonder Woman is basically a legend that learned to fly. And that's genuinely cool. These characters feel enormous, mythic. Nobody's building a statue of Ant-Man, and you know that very well. But there's a price for that. When your hero is a perfect symbol, it's really hard to get close to them. Think about it. What's actually wrong with Superman? He's too nice? That's not a flaw. That's something you say in a job interview. So when DC tried to make big connected universe, the movie got loud and grand and full of gods punching each other through buildings. And you walked out impressed instead of attached. You respected it. And that's the trap. Point 3. Enter James Gunn. So Guns is the guy who made the Guardians of the Galaxy. 5 broken weirdos who barely tolerate each other, and the plot is honestly an afterthought. It's pure character. And now he's running an entire new DC. So what did he do with Superman? He didn't sell him as the strongest being alive. He sold him as a genuinely kind of guy in a world that finds kindness kinda cringe. He took the untouchable symbol and gave him a weakness. A heart. Something to struggle with. In other words, he's running the Marvel playbook on DC characters. Stealing the homework, yeah? But here where it gets fun. Remember the standalone movies I set aside at the start? Think about it. DC's most beloved movies are the ones that aren't a part of the shared universe at all. No team ups, no stick around after the credits, no setup for a crossover, just one simple movie, one idea, allowed it to be perfect on its own. So maybe DC isn't bad at writing, maybe DC is just bad at writing the Marvel way. Cram these mythic giants into one big connected universe and they feel stiff. Let one director chase a single character like an obsession, and DC will produce some of the best superhero movies ever made. So, here's my real question for you guys, and I actually want the answer down in the comments. If DC heroes are at their absolute best as lone legends, standing on their own, then should DC ever be building a giant connected universe at all? Is Gunn doing the right thing brilliantly or the wrong thing brilliantly? Maybe the lesson was never DC should be more Marvel. Maybe it should be DC stop apologizing for not being Marvel. Let me know if I'm wrong and I'll catch you in the next one.